why don't we bring in the head coach to the Tennessee Volunteers?
Oh, okay. Boy, you got to get the mood music right for him. We don't mess with Cuonzo, right?
We do not. He can deliver dating advice. He knows that there's nothing wrong with flowers. We bring in Cuonzo Martin, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers men's basketball team. Hey, Coach Martin, good morning. Vince and Mike, how are you?
Let's hear his music.
Can you hear me?
we thought you were just ignoring us because you were listening to MJ playing in the background there.
That's good music there.
You doing all right, Coach?
Not bad. I'm doing all right.
How'd you enjoy the Big Orange Caravan talking to the fans?
I enjoyed it. It's always good to give back to the fans. Good days. I mean, you meet a lot of different people because during the season it's hard to reach out to people, but it's a way for us to give back.
Coach, I was just going to ask you, I guess the schedule, I'd seen where there were some negotiations going on with Xavier and Wichita State. What's the nature of those potential series? Are they 2-for-1s? Are they home and homes? Do they involve you traveling the first year? Can you shake that up for me?
Good question. No, actually, we'll play Xavier here first and also Wichita State, then we'll go to their places next year, but it's just one game, and then we'll play Wichita State in their downtown new arena. I think it's about 3 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Then we'll play Xavier in their home gym. Then we obviously have Virginia at Virginia, then they'll come back here the following year.
Okay, and still waiting to find out about the SEC Big East Challenge.
Yes, hopefully we can find that out here soon.
Okay. There'd been some speculation that Notre Dame could be that team, and I know you said that who knows, speculation is just that. And I wondered, had you ever been to Notre Dame before, and what would you think about that as a potential opponent?
Great place to play. When I was assistant coach at Purdue, we played against Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Good arena, good atmosphere. Seemed like good rims. We came up short that night, so I don't know if they were that good. But it's a fun place to play, in my opinion.
Coach, there's been obviously some reports that Trey went ahead and had the knee surgery. I know you and I talked. You held him out of spring drills. Precautionary, I guess you hoped that you could get by without the knee surgery. What prompted the decision, and what's the prognosis for Trey?
Well, it was a case that, in spring workouts, they wanted to strengthen the knee, see if he can get strong, because the last couple of games he tweaked it, and he played through it. And it was just one of those deals. Tried to rehab, and he felt pretty good about it with his straight running. But then he went home after the break, made some hard cuts on it. Swelling came back in the knee, and it just felt like came back on campus, did MRI and tests and X-rays, and found out it was probably the best thing to do was have the surgery.
And that was some kind of was it a sprain or I guess a sprain technically is a tear, right?
Yes, I mean it was a tear. I mean I don't want to act like a doctor over here, Mike, but I mean I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. And is there any, as far as Dwight Miller, how's he on his rehab? And also, when do you expect to get Dwight and Trey back on the floor?
Trey, I think Dwight could be a month or two before he's active. I think in Trey's case, he's rehabbing well. He has all his lateral movement now. His mobility, but he's only rehabbing. I think he might be on a bike right now, but they're taking their process slow. They said 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay. Visiting with Tennessee men's basketball coach Cuonzo Martin here on the new Sentinel Sports Page. Vince Ferrara and Mike Griffith. Coach, let's talk about the new statewide hoops tour starting in June. 4 cities in the state of Tennessee. Tell us a little bit about this and what your thinking is to be a part of this.
Well, I think it's something we brainstorm as a staff. We throw a lot of stuff around and always figuring out the best way to enhance our profile as a basketball program and doing our part from a university standpoint. And we just, you have camps, you have clinics, and we thought this was probably the best way to really reach out throughout the state. And we'll touch a lot of different cities from this point on. But we just wanted these 4 cities. Obviously, we have our camps here on campus. Because what happens, so many kids, and the camps are from the ages of kindergarten to the 6th grade, but so many kids watch us on TV. Some kids financially can't afford to come to basketball camps. So we felt like we'd take the action to them.
4 cities, Monday, June 11th, Chattanooga at Baylor School, Nashville at Christ Presbyterian Academy, Wednesday, June 13th, then at Greenville High School in Greenville, Friday, June 15th, and then at Memphis University School in Memphis, Wednesday, June 27th. It's $20 per child, includes participation, basketball, T-shirt, and that expertise and getting a chance to be at camp is a tremendous value. It's you can give them a call at 974-0703, and you get more details on it as well at utsports.com. You have the father-son camp as well for Father's Day, right, Coach?
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun event. That was one of those deals Coach Katie used to do at Purdue for years. I think it's great for fathers and sons. My son, he comes to the camp, but he doesn't want to play with me though. So he want to play one of the players. I don't understand that. So, but it's a great time. We have Q&A with the dads. We talk basketball. We talk life. Things we go through as a staff. We bounce things off the dads. I think it's just a fun day.
Coach, I don't know how tuned in. I know you've been traveling a lot. How tuned in you've been to the NBA playoffs in your various hotel rooms or during your travels. What are your thoughts on the playoffs? What are we learning about the playoffs this year? Any trends you're picking up or teams that you're behind?
Yeah, the one thing we do, and I love watching basketball this time of year because I actually have time to sit down and watch it. But as a staff, we've picked different teams in the playoffs, and we'll scout them, evaluate them, and then we'll sit down as a staff and figure out set plays that we like, things that this team does. And my favorite teams right now to watch, I'm not necessarily saying they're my teams, but San Antonio, Boston, and the Pacers, just from the standpoint they run good set plays, they have good actions, and they look like college teams from the standpoint of how they execute their offense. And not a lot of ball screens all the time, because you have great players you can run the ball screens, but I think it'll be the Celtics in Miami in the East, and obviously San Antonio and Oak City. That'll be a great one. I think somebody in the West will probably win it all, but anything could happen.
Coach, I love the NBA too. Love college basketball. Love the NBA. So I'm not coming with this question in terms of hating on the NBA, but I have a hard time with the 3 steps of no travel call. Can you help me out with that? Why you get an automatic 3 steps in the NBA?
Well, the thing about it, and it's so funny because we talk about the travel call in the NBA. Now, if you go watch the guys play in Europe, it's almost 4 steps. I mean, really, it's amazing because when you saw Ginobili, even though I think he's from Argentina, when you watched him play, it's like, man, that's like 4 steps, but they call it the European step now. But so it's just amazing. I just think when you're a great player, you get certain calls. When you're a role guy, it's a travel.
Coach, recently some Miami players were suspended some games for some hard fouls, and I don't know where you draw the line, but I have heard you tell your team at times that the thing that seems to drive you maddest, and there's a lot of things that can upset you in a basketball game, but the ticky-tack foul 2 feet from the basket where the guy scores anyway, it's kind of if you're going to foul a guy near the basket, make sure he doesn't make the shot. What are your thoughts about the way the NBA seems to be enforcing this? Because defensive basketball, I mean, there's been some lower scoring games that seems to be, I don't want to say a trend, but it seems to be kind of like that, more physical and more defensive at this stage of the playoffs.
I think that you start to see great basketball, and this is what it's about. And I think what happens during the regular season, you don't see as many hard fouls. It doesn't seem like they're going as hard. So this right now is what the fans pay to see. They want to see this all year long. But I think it's hard to sustain this level of intensity and energy with 80-plus games, even though I think it was only 60 games this year. But, I mean, you have to be careful because, I think some of those fouls were tough fouls. And I think, Udonis Haslem was more or less defending his guy, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see the game. I just saw the highlights. So, that part is kind of understood. It's unfortunate, but you got to be careful, especially when guys like, Dwayne Wade and LeBron, the way those guys run and jump and they're giving up their bodies. I mean, you have to be careful.
Coach, we get fans bring this up, and it's another part of the NBA that has evolved through the years, the lack of the use of the glass. Tim Duncan does it, Dwayne Wade does it, and it seems to be just an underutilized part of basketball, probably on all levels. Why is that, and is that ever going to change, you think?
We teach it, but I just think a player has to feel good about it. But I think in Tim Duncan's case, and I know years past, before the game, he would shoot 250 off the glass on each side of the backboard. I mean, it was consistent with that, really worked on that. That's before a game. And Dwayne Wade, he has a pull-up game, the mid-range game, so he works on it a lot. He shoots the floaters. And we try to teach. I just think it's a case of the individual player feeling good with making that move, and we try to teach it, but it's hard to do if you're not used to doing it or you don't feel good with doing it.
You talk about feeling good, Coach. Can you just talk about what a difference there is between May of 2012 and May of 2011? I think you were just finishing off a recruiting class, maybe adding Dwight Miller about this time of year, and had no idea what direction this team was going to go. How far has this team come in the last year?
I think the guys have really done a great job of buying into the program and the things we expect and the level we expect to do things at. It wasn't easy at first. I mean, because in most cases, change is not an easy thing, especially with young guys who get accustomed to doing certain things a certain way. And then you have a new style, a new system. It's not an easy thing, but I thought the guys did a really good job. So, our toughest months, I think, off the court last year were April and May this time, just getting guys to really understand the level we have to do things at and being consistent, doing things the right way. Then we had the summer months, and then we had the tough times on the court early, but I think that was just a matter of guys buying in and understanding the level we had to play at. Then we got better.
Tennessee coach Cuonzo Martin announcing the statewide hoops tour, which begins in Chattanooga Monday, June 11th. 4 cities in the state of Tennessee. Coach Martin and the entire staff will conduct each clinic. They'll have assistance from Tennessee players and coaches. You get a welcome speech by Coach Martin, drill work, a speech on life skills and character building, and Q&A with the coaches and players, photo and autograph session, and so much more. Only $20 per child. Includes a participation in basketball and a T-shirt as well. You can call to be a part of the camp, 974-0703, and get more information at utsports.com. Coach, always great to visit with you. Really appreciate it. We'll look forward to talking to you again here soon.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. That's Coach Cuonzo Martin, nice enough to spend some time with us. And also at utsports.com, you can probably get information on the father-son camp as well, which is always a lot of fun and well done. What a great experience to be a part of that.